Welcome to Steel Forest Ranging Academy. On behalf of all of us at Steel Forest, we want to ensure that your time at our range is a safe and positive experience. We put this video together to show you what to expect when you come to the range for the first time. Everybody has a little bit of anxiety their first time out, so come with me and I'll show you what it's like.
Hi, I'm Steve, and this is where you check into the range. Here you can expect to hear gunshots, and you're going to see employees inspecting firearms and ammunition. Now, if you have a question, this is the perfect time to ask. The professionals here at Steel Forest are more than happy to answer any question that you have or assist you in any way that's going to make your experience here even more positive. So if you have a question, feel free to ask. We're more than happy to help. So if you're coming here to shoot and it's your first time, we're going to ask you to fill out a range waiver on one of our iPads, but you can actually do it ahead of time at steelforestga.com. Then we're going to ask if you need ear and eye protection, ammunition, targets, or one of our firearm rentals, which we're more than happy to provide all that to you. So when it comes to handling firearms around the range check encounter, there are a couple safety rules that we strictly enforce. One is you just don't want to point your firearm at anything you're not willing to shoot. What I tell people is if it's not supposed to have a bullet hole in it, don't point the gun at it. Two is that every time you pick up a gun or mess with one, make sure your finger is off the trigger and outside the trigger guard. This is the last line of safety that prevents mistakes from happening. Also, when you handle a gun up here at the booth too, it has to be unloaded. So take the magazine out and lock the slide or bolt back, depending on the firearm make. And keep in mind too that just because the magazine is out does not mean the gun is unloaded. With a revolver, we ask that you just open the cylinder and all the chambers on the cylinder wheel have no ammunition in them. Before leaving range check-in and going out to shoot, make sure you put eye and ear protection all the way. We do recommend that you put the in-ear ear protection underneath your over-ear ear protection for extra soundproofing. And if you don't have any of that stuff, we're more than happy to provide that for you.
The first door that you open leads you into the airlock between the bays. Please ensure that that door is closed before you open your range door, as to ensure that the people in the store don't have a lot of noise to deal with. When entering the range, it will be hot, so expect to hear firearms getting shot and see them getting shot as well. What you want to do is find the number above your lane and enter it. Ensure that the firearm is empty by dropping the magazine, locking the slide to the rear, and if it's a revolver, make sure you open the cylinder and also put it on the table facing downrange at all times.
One thing to remember about changing and hanging targets is to always make sure your target is centered. That will ensure that all of your rounds stay inside your lane. Once you are ready to fire, then and only then, load your weapon, keeping it pointed downrange for the duration of your shooting. Shooting with friends is one of the best ways to enjoy your time at Steel Forest. Before changing shooters, make sure your weapon is unloaded with the slide lock back, the magazine removed, and laying on the bench pointed downrange. Then exit the booth completely and allow the next shooter to enter the booth. While at the range, if the range officer calls a ceasefire, immediately stop shooting. Place your weapon on the bench and step back.
Ceasefire! Ceasefire! Set your firearm down and step away from the firing line.
If you hear the command to make your weapon safe, you will then drop your magazine, lock your slide back, place it on the table facing safely downrange.
Ceasefire! Ceasefire! Make your weapon safe, please, and step away from the firing line. Excellent, excellent.
After things are worked out by the range officer, he will call a hot range and allow you to continue shooting.
Range is hot.
When leaving the range, please use all the safety tips that we have discussed throughout the video. Remove the magazine from your weapon and lock the slide back to ensure there is nothing in the chamber. Place your weapon back in its carrying case and remember to keep eye and ear protection on until you are back out at the range counter. Just because you are ready to leave does not mean everyone else is. Common sense and courtesy go a long way on the range. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any of us. You'll find that Steel Forest is a fun place to enjoy your time. Remember to keep your gun pointed in a safe direction, your finger off the trigger, and the weapon unloaded until ready to use. Firearm safety depends on you. From all of us at Steel Forest, have a wonderful time and shoot some tight groups.